You and I are not different from this flower. Just like this flower is unique, you're all unique. We all have something special. Do you know what makes you special? For some, it's a pretty hard question, especially when life hits you and hits your heart with problems. Taking these petals away one by one after the pandemic and breaking you into pieces. I apologize, organizers. And when you are broken and devastated, it's hard to be special again. Last year, December the 13th, after a long stay in Shanghai and Hong Kong during the pandemic, I scheduled several meetings in Istanbul. And to make my stay more productive, I invited a number of team members to come to Istanbul. My flight was delayed for 8 hours. I was angry, I was pissed, I was devastated, just like this flower. I landed at Istanbul airport at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then it took me another 45 minutes to get my Airbnb. As I got to my destination, it was hard for me to find my apartment. So I looked for the closest possible hotel to ask somebody to help me. I found a boutique hotel. As I stepped into the hotel, I saw a beautiful couple engaged in a very intimate conversation. And I felt so bad to interfere into that conversation, but I needed help to find my apartment. As I approached this couple, I apologized, saying, I'm terribly sorry to ruin this mojo that you have. I'm terribly sorry you're having this, thank you. You're having this fantastic conversation, but this is the address of my Airbnb, and I need the help. The young man looked at me, gave that wonderful smile, and said, give me a minute. Let me send my guest by her to Rome. So after a minute, indeed, he came to me. He looked at the address. He said, oh, it's just 1 minute walk away from here. Let me take you in there. He was sincere. He was frank. It was almost 4 o'clock in the morning, and he was agreeable and approachable, and I was shocked. As we were talking, he was taking me to my Airbnb. I said, I apologize one more time, man. You had a wonderful girl. You were talking to her. Oh, she said, no. That's my guest. Whenever she has a boyfriend problem, she comes to me because I'm easily agreeable and approachable. After all, I'm a reception. I was in Zamniak. After Asia, I came to Istanbul. And I said, wait a minute. I cannot sleep right now, but can I come to you so we could have a chat? He said, sure, drop by. After 10 minutes, I came over to the lobby. We sat down and started talking. So Ziad, originally from Palestine, happened to be in Istanbul for almost 4 years. He was born in Saudi Arabia. He didn't have passport of Saudi, and he didn't have a bank account. His family moved to Saudi Arabia decades ago in the search of a better future. Interestingly enough, Ziad said, everything we do as refugees or Palestinians and Saudis, in Saudi Arabia, we depend on our patronage or Saudi nationals. His father was working for several years, and he didn't have a green card. That was shocking to me. And he went for hours of discussing the cultural differences, the difficulties, the refugees in the Middle East. These were the unspeakable difficulties I could hardly imagine. So the more he went with his story, the more I was shocked. Our conversation lasted for almost 5 hours, and I knew that his shift was coming to an end. He was working 15 hours every day, and it took him 1 hour to get to his apartment, the Asian side of Istanbul, and 1 hour to come down to the western part where he was primarily working. I had to stand up and stop him. I held him firm and said, you are a brave, courageous man. You have something special, and we have to get to find that. My partner, Kema, who was speaking previously here, is coming tomorrow to Istanbul. We're going to invite you to dinner, and we're going to find out what is that something special that you have, I believe, and we have to talk this over. He was shocked. He was startled. He couldn't understand. This man who came 4 hours ago, inviting him to the dinner with somebody who doesn't know. Kema came after 9 hours to Istanbul, and I said, we have a dinner with a guest. She didn't know what's going on. She had what are you doing here in several hours? You have somebody is at a meeting with the client, with the investor, with a partner. I didn't say a word. So when Ziad came for dinner, We started talking. I had this ice-breaking experience. We had fun about the culture. He speaks Arabic. I speak some Arabic. He speaks Turkish. I speak some Turkish. And I said, Ziad, we have an offer to make. Whatever they pay you in a hotel, we're going to double. You're going to have better schedule. You're going to learn more about cryptocurrency. He said, cryptocurrency? I said, yes. He said, is that Bitcoin? I said, Bitcoin is the father or grandfather. But you're going to learn more than Bitcoin. But I said, this is yes, no answer. There is not tomorrow. There is no thinking. You have to give us an answer right now. He was shocked again. And Kemo was giving me the look like, are you crazy? You have never done this before. I said, yes, I'm crazy. This young man has something special, I believe. We have to cultivate it. But I don't know yet. So for 30 to 40 minutes, Ziad was hesitant. He couldn't understand why I was doing this to him. I said, Ziad, this is your call. You take the risk, I'm taking the risk. After 45 minutes of a conversation, he said, yes, I'm in. And I forced him the next day to go to a hotel and tell the manager that he was quitting. And this is our very first picture that we took when Ziad was hired. And then in a period of next 3 months, we talked about Bitcoin, about cryptocurrency, about Binance, about trading, about staking, about the farming, about the futures. In less than 3 months, not only Ziad doubled his salary, but also he started helping his fellow refugees. So these are the refugees, some Syrians, some Afghans, some Yemenis, and of course, I'm sitting in the middle. Even though for me it was hard to understand Arabic, but I was sort of contributing to conversation, pretending like I'm understanding what they're talking about, even though I understood nothing what they were talking about. And interestingly enough, in less than 3 months, Ziad now working in Istanbul, he gets paid in crypto, he trades in crypto, he feeds his family, he's not married, but his parents and his younger brother in crypto, and teaching all these refugees all about crypto. And this is one person's life, changing the lives of probably dozens, maybe hundreds, probably millions. And when I look at the situation, and I admire Europeans, including Georgians, how they help Ukrainians. And sometimes I ask myself, what if we could apply the same solidarity and power this with technology? I'm talking about the Afghans, the Palestinians, the Burmese. Some people based somewhere in India, we don't know. In Africa, we don't know. Some based in Indonesia or the Philippines. If we could empower them with technology or Web3, with a simple example of DeFi, wouldn't that make much difference? And the important note, there is the conventional wisdom that says God doesn't give you more than you can handle, and you have to find the meaning. And I deeply disagree. I believe you have to forge meaning. Forge meaning, build identity. Forge meaning, and build identity. Even in purely non-technical terms, NFTs have revolutionized scores of industries. During my research of NFTs and metaverse, AR and VR, there were scores of examples and individuals that I admired. And when I was talking to Violetta, she was telling her story, which was quite interesting. Since her teenage time in 2013, she was in love with music. Since 2013 to 2021, she was participating in multiple contests and competition across Europe and North America, and she was devastated. She depended on lawyers, on record labels, and nobody noticed her. And when she was just about to give up, interestingly, in 2021, when she went back to Berlin to have Christmas dinner with her family, her mother accidentally mentions, have you heard this NFT thing? It's like a big deal. She says, no, like, take a look, you never know. And Violetta started getting into NFT. She got into Twitter space, looking at people that looked like maniacs, meaning that I work 15, 17 hours every day, and people think that I'm a maniac. Technically, I am because I love what I do. And Violetta couldn't understand why these people don't sleep. They either trade, they develop projects and products, and she couldn't understand until she met a man called Milo Lombardi, who is also Italian. Milo Lombardi looked at the Violetta, and he was thinking, as we were speaking with him, Violetta had this special talents and passion towards the music. Interestingly, music industry didn't notice her and developed NFT music project for her. So she, in a coffee shop, she composed most of her ballads or her music, first NFT collection, which is called A Rain Must Fall. And that was the first project. During 2-month campaign, she sold $10,000 worth NFT music as a newbie in the industry. In NFT chart, this is something like where you rank the people who are selling the NFT music. She was the second after Snoop Dogg. Her next project, The Moonshot, that I also like, which is still promoting on Twitter, she made almost $40,000 worth of, she sold $40,000 of the music as an NFT. And now she's trending a lot on NFT chart. And this is happening from 2021 until this year. In less than a year, she became a rock star in Web3. She doesn't depend on lawyers. She doesn't depend on record labels. She doesn't depend on anybody. She intimately engages into the community. And the community is the power. If you empower and directly engage with the community, they will be your brand will ambassadors. And this is another simple example how creative people could come up with several ideas in the form of NFT, in metaverse, engage with the community, and forge meaning. To repeat myself, build identity and forge meaning. An example of Violetta is another fantastic example. On October 23rd, I was invited to come to Georgia to have a chat about Web3. And when Meek invited me, they had a fantastic, wonderful event. And I shared the panel with several people, including Mika. And I met a fantastic audience that was concerned about the future of NFT, about the blockchain. And most of all, there were particular people that had something special, and I didn't know what they had. And the more I talked to Maria, who is in the audience today, and Michael, who joined our team, they were so motivated that after several conversations, Maria developed a new project called Women in Web3 Space in Developing Countries. As she's sitting here right now, she's promoting female and empowering them to take a leap forward and start a project. And with her design skills, she has this new NFT project and looking for people to join. And I highly encourage you that after this talk, you talk to Maria. And Michael, who joined our team at SINOFY, also expressed interest. Look, I like what you're doing. You talk about this VC thing and fundraising about Asia. Very few people understand. I want to represent your story here. And more than that, he joined the off-chain community. Off-chain is the biggest crypto community that have more than 50 cities, 35 countries. In Georgia is our new chapter. And if you are in NFT, you are in Web3, in anything related to crypto, Michael is the person who is somewhere around here hanging out with people. You see, we love innovation. We love creativity and design. We love those people who came for this event to explore something new. But none of that will, in my opinion, matter if we don't help those who are less privileged, those who are disadvantaged, those who will never make to this kind of conference, but they are in a less developed countries. But if we use this technology to empower them and make some difference, I think we will contribute to civilization. And I want to thank Nadia and her team behind here for organizing this fantastic event. I want to thank you for being patient and sparing time to listen to my story. And I want to thank you one more time for forging meaning and invite you. And you have something special, but I don't know what it is. Thank you.